Now, I've said this before, bro, and I'll say it again. Eh? The problem that we, the Igbos, have is lack of proper documentation. We don't have any form of proper documentation at all. Person go achieve everything when you go achieve. There is no form of documentation. There is no record of his achievements. All we know is that he built this house, he built this house. What of the process of building the house? Sure, you get. Now, bringing it in actual context. For example, all these things we Obi Kubana they do, and the rest of them, say all this city boy shit. Believe it or not, the guy have no proper documentation of anything that is happening to him in his life. All his achievements, the houses he has built, the investment he's making, there's no proper documentation. And don't try to quote me out of context. Yeah, documentation. I'm not talking about business wise. I'm talking about history wise, family history wise, the story that will be passed from generation to generation. That's the kind of documentation I'm talking about. For example, again, we all know about Adolf Hitler. You get. Now, where did we learn Adolf Hitler from? From the histories that we were taught. And the people narrating these histories are mainly the Americans and the UK, that is England. Now only them they narrate this kind of history. Whereas in Germany, some parts of Germany see Adolf Hitler as a revolutionary, as a great man, as a good man. You get. Now, the part of documentation that is necessary is the part from his family. If Adolf Hitler has any place recording his experience, the experience that his kids have with him, that's the necessary and the most important documentation that will make it to the seventh generation. Was he a good father? Was he a good businessman? Was he a good soldier? Those are the things that make it to documentation. Do you understand? We don't have a proper documentation. That's why our history is just started. Somebody will come into a community and develop the entire community, but he does not write down his story. He doesn't tell it as a story, so that when somebody from his seventh generation comes and sees the book, he will say, "Yes, this is my father. Yes, my father is a great man." No such thing. No such thing. That's why when we talk about history, the only part of history we talk about is maybe from 1947. From 1947, we don't talk about the history that involves what's his name? Flora Shaw. When Flora Shaw newly came to Nigeria, we don't talk about that. Do you understand? Documentation is very, very important. If you can look into it and start documenting some of our achievements, we'll go further in life. We have wars that the Igbos fought, and we have peace makings that the Igbos made during the times of our forefathers. I'm talking about the time we only use spear, bow, and arrow for war, hand-to-hand combat mainly. Communities were formed during those wars. We have no record of those communities. We don't. The only war we can remember of is the war between the Arab people and the Ibibio people some time ago. And even at that, there is no proper record of that story. Do you understand? That's why we are so fractured in our history. If you can start looking into this, believe me, we'll go further in the next 20 years. Anyway, peace.